they're trying to launch an attack on exogenous glyphs. And you all know where I stand with exogenous, so it feels a little weird for me coming down on the side of exogenous. But the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I just don't see that it would be any good if the nemesis is trying to destroy the glyphs. I don't see that that's good for us. In any case, the nemesis seem to have their own nemesis runes that they're trying to replace the glyphs with. And difficult to tell how many days have gone by, how long we've been in here. We're trying to set up some type of schedule for ourselves so that we can kind of track it a little bit better. But it appears that things are definitely not the way we normally understand time in here. There seem to be ripples in time, and it's disorienting, to say the least. Also, Hank's here, as you know, so that has been nice working with him again and having him so close. He and I haven't been able to spend this much time together in a really long time, so that has been really oddly nice and wonderful, given the circumstances. On the other hand, working with Linton Wolf has been challenging, to say the least. Okay, I have another question here. Ben Hoos is asking, what can we do on our side to attack these barriers during an anomaly? We should plan something right now. Who else can you communicate with as far as simulacrum? I'm not sure that we can attack the barrier from our side. We're working at the moment on remote participation technology. We're working out the kinks in that to be able to combat nemesis during anomalous periods. Basically, the RPE tech will allow us to project avatars of ourselves for brief windows into other places that will allow us to combat nemesis directly. However, it's brief windows, which means our hands are pretty much tied most of the time, and that's why we need your help. You all can do a lot more than we can. One second, let me just see what this next question is. If nemesis is opposed, Mustafa again, Mustafa Saeed, if nemesis is opposed to the exogenous, why are they not aligned with the resistance? I actually see nemesis as a very extreme version of the resistance, more extreme than Nazir. I mean, I actually kind of agree with some of their goals, but I do not agree with their methods. I guess that's why I'm calling for the resistance to unite in combating, unite with the enlightened. I know, I never thought I would say that, to combat nemesis, because, as we've said, the enemy of our enemy is our friend. So, Aaron Viano, Almeida. How old are nemesis? When were they formed if they're a Magnus? Calvin thinks nemesis has been operating for a while. They took out our simulacra in a very specific, planned way. It's worrying. We still don't have that much information on nemesis. We are trying to figure it out. And again, if you all have any information from the last anomalous event, if you find any information in your world and you can send it through to us, it would be incredibly helpful because we are limited in our abilities right now. Okay, Maxence, Perot, Ezekiel, Calvin said you've been reset. Reset from what? What did you lose from your old selves? Well, when we woke up, the last thing we remembered was the Niantic project onboarding. But now we remember everything that our simulacra did because Calvin figured out a way to take our simulacra's memories and put them into our real brains. So I can remember everything my simulacra did, up to and including my death, or her death. Yeah, okay. Denise Froelich. Does the Nemesis runes have a similar effect like Dark XM, like we saw in the anime? We do believe it has something to do with mind control. Again, we don't have a ton of information, so this is somewhat speculation, but yes. Shaper glyphs are the way that shapers influence the brain, and the runes, I think the Nemesis is trying to co-opt that through the runes, maybe? I'm not really sure. So, here we go. Katie Ishira Norris. Is it possible that Nemesis is from a different universe? That's a really interesting hypothesis. Yeah, it's certainly possible. Carice thinks they are. We've been discussing the possibility of that. If we are close to using RPE, then they might already have that tech as well. So I need... To that end, I want to let you guys know that the most imminent threat appears to be a Nemesis member named Aurora. As I've mentioned already, they're launching an attack on exogenous glyphs. So we need your help now more than ever. Katige Karahan is asking, this communication now allows us to talk with you. Are we going to be able to communicate again, or is this just a small time window we can communicate? She goes on to ask, to defend Nemesis, we need to be able to communicate. Are you guys working on some kind of communication without Nemesis track? At the moment, we're only able to communicate at certain times, but we will stay in close contact as we can. Look out for messages from us. We will be trying to communicate with you. There are things that we're going to need you to do on your side since we're trapped here. I mean, we're very limited. We cannot do anything in the outside world. That's why we need your help. We won't be able to stop Nemesis without your help. And if we don't stop Nemesis, we're going to be trapped here forever. Julia Hayworth is asking, I remember getting a piece of media from the anomaly, and some of the Nemesis glyphs in the video said, and I quote, "Do you really think you can reactivate it yourself? What do you think it means?" I think they were referring to redacted. We believe that Nemesis may have fully infiltrated redacted. We're trying to get more data on that. It's a good question. Okay, Stony Bibi asks, you keep saying the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that's not always true. Could just be another front in the battle. Be careful. Yes, agreed. It's a difficult situation. It's complicated. Being here with all of the old researchers that I worked with so long ago, and we all have different beliefs, but we are working together to try to combat Nemesis. I'm not sure who's the greatest threat, Nemesis or the exogenous. What do you all think? Lee McAndrews asks, we can confirm Nemesis has RPE tech based on some documents leaked to us. Thank you. That intel is invaluable to us. I'm asking all of my resistance agents, I would like to know what you think. What is the greatest threat? Nemesis or the exogenous? Richard Price is asking, do you think Nemesis is a government organization? At the end of an NIA video, there was a woman saying to someone, take care of Jarvis and Ada. If they are government, they're pretty extreme. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want them to be my government. It is possible that they come from a world that's very different than ours. This is something to think about. Ian Butt is asking, Nemesis is attempting to recruit Ingress agents. Any comments on what potential threat these Nemesis recruits may present? Okay. Anyone working with Nemesis could be in mortal danger. Please be very careful. However, any data you can get from the inside could be the key to defeating them. If you decide to infiltrate Nemesis, please be extremely careful. Gerald Wolfe is asking, every villain is a hero in his own mind. Using that quote, what heroic act do you think Nemesis are trying to accomplish from their perspective? Are you aware of any harmful things that you and the other members of the Niantic Project have done that they may try to undo? Well, that's a good point. I don't think anyone thinks of themselves as evil or bad or wrong, and I certainly don't think Nemesis think of themselves as villains. Maybe they think that in researching XM, we are aiding and abetting the exogenous. Jarvis, for instance, we know is a big supporter of the Shapers. So that one's got me thinking. I'm just wondering if it might help to get inside their mind a little bit, sort of see where they're coming at, what direction they're coming from. It might help us figure out what their weaknesses are. Okay, Aaron Viano Almeida. Why can't the exogenous fight Nemesis on their own? We think that whatever Nemesis did to trap us here might also be keeping the exogenous out of your world. Gennady Osipik is asking, how can we be sure you're the real Bogdanovich, not a powerful nemesis impersonating you? I guess I'm just going to have to ask you to trust me, quite frankly. We can't even be sure one or more of the researchers aren't nemesis moles. It makes what we're doing incredibly dangerous. But I don't see the benefit of infighting among us at the moment, unless we have evidence of an actual nemesis mole in here. And again, if you guys get intel to that effect, please send it through directly to me. Well, if you trust that I'm the real Bogdanovich. Tim Eldred is asking, we've seen at least a representation of Nemesis, but never of the Shapers or Nazir. Is there a reason we don't know what they all look like? I mean, I think the Shapers may have manipulated our brains, programmed us to see their enemies, the Nazir, as demons or monsters. Exogenous may look different to different people. Richard Price is asking, seeing that people have the power to recurse, do you think it's a good thing in the long run? Apart from longevity, in lore terms, what does it mean for us as agents in the field? Well, it's better now that we know how to transfer memories from one simulacrum to another. However, people weren't designed to live forever. And if everyone is immortal, old ideas might just stagnate. I think this is something that I've actually been thinking about quite a bit since I found out that I was a simulacra and I can be made into one. Mustafa Saeed, is Misty Hannah okay? Yeah, this is actually a sore point between Calvin and I. Misty hasn't woken up from stasis yet. We have been trying to wake her up, but so far we've had no success. I'm not sure if she is projecting herself into another world and that's why she's not waking up. I don't know if something is wrong, but this is one of the reasons why I am incredibly angry, furious at Calvin. He put us in stasis without our consent. And who knows, if he would have gotten our consent or not gotten our consent, and Misty had said no, she might be out there with you today. In any case, well, once we get out of here, I'll deal with Calvin. Amy Bergquist is asking, so it sounds like you want us all to go out and glyph hack a lot of portals. How will that help? Well, we think the exogenous glyphs may be able to nullify the exogenous runes. That's what we're hoping. Penelope McFadden says, hugs, we will figure out a way to get you back. Thank you very much. We all believe you. And we need your help. Everything that you guys can put in, everything you can find out. We need you now more than ever. Ariel Diana, 1218 Misty had found out how to create a mind palace on her own. Is it possible Prime Misty could be in her own mind palace? That is possible, and it's a good idea. We'll see what we can find out. Kevin Hagen. He's asking, which researchers are awake and who is still in stasis like Misty? So other than Misty, we're all awake. Well, mostly. I mean, Hank is actually a simulacrum. He's actually dead. He died in Afghanistan. He was never a part of the Niantic project. So he will only ever exist as a simulacra. Again, I mean, unless someone figures out a cure to death. I'm sorry, he was a part of the Niantic project, but he died in Afghanistan, so. Aaron Viano, when do we do the glyph thing? Soon. You'll know when Nemesis makes their move. Ian Butt. Devra, Nemesis may have deployed the Obsidian Shield in the Prime universe to block recursion and exogenous influence. Are you aware of the Obsidian Shield and the events surrounding its development destruction during 1218's Aegis Nova anomaly sequence? Yeah, we do think that Nemesis has interest in the Prime artifacts. So, do what you can to keep them out of Nemesis's hands. Elijah McManus. Nemesis is the bigger threat right now. Maybe ask Dr. Oliver Wolf in a YouTube video. He made himself part of the Portal network to escape Nemesis. He may know something he's not telling you. Well, I've never trusted Linton Wolf. I've always thought he was too willing to experiment on humans with XM. It appears Nemesis can travel as shards at will, so. Lemon Wolf figured out how to do that before his simulacrum was destroyed. I mean, part of me thinks none of us are safe with him here. Just makes me more suspicious of him than I already was. Get a little paranoid that someone might be listening. All right. Mustafa Saeed is asking, is it possible that Nemesis could break into the bubble you are inside? I mean, I'm worried about that. I hope not. I mean, Kreese is working on a way to block them from RPing into us, into here. Vamp for a bit. So hopefully they can't, and hopefully we figure out a way to block it from happening, but if we can't figure it out, then it's possible that they will break in. If you have any information on that, please let us know. Just want to ask you all a little bit about, oh shoot, looks like we're having some interference. Hold on one second. I don't know if you're getting this. Is anyone getting this? Can you? Okay, give me a second. Let me check on. Okay. Let me check on this. I'm worried about some interference happening. Can you all hear? Okay. Okay, I got something through here. Eugene Cornelius is asking, what are all of the Woken researchers there actually doing? Coming up with possible ways to figure out strategies to counter Nemesis? I mean, yes, that's exactly what we're doing here. Lightman is hard at work on the RPE tech. That's the most important thing that we're doing right now. We really want to get to a place where we can project our avatars into the real world to help you guys combat Nemesis directly. Otherwise, we're useless in this limbo where they've banished us. It was kind of weird there for a second. I wasn't getting anything. It appeared something was interfering. I'm worried about that. Okay, Mustafa Saeed, is it possible that Nemesis shards could manifest at anomaly sites? Yes, that's very possible. Look, be wary at anomalies. You're all very important to me, and we all value the work that you do for us. We don't want anyone to get hurt. So please be careful. We can't have Nemesis hurt any more people. Okay. Ian Butts is asking, agents defeated Myriad and the first Nemesis barrier. That's right. Thank you all for that. Is Myriad now trapped as shards? Could Nemesis attempt to revive their fallen members through a global shard event? Yes. We believe Myriad still exists somewhere, trapped, possibly like we are. Not here, but somewhere else. We don't fully understand it yet, but it's very possible that they could be brought back. Okay, Eugene Cornelius is asking, yes, are you sure all of you aren't under surveillance while attempting to communicate and seek help? That's actually what I was worried about a second ago when I was experiencing interference. We can't be sure they aren't monitoring us. Unfortunately, all we can do is hope that they aren't. So far, they haven't been able to enter our facility directly. So even if they know we're working on RPE, they won't be able to stop us. We hope. This feels good, being able to talk to you all like this. Thank you so much for your questions and for any help that you can provide. Stephen Curley is asking, could we use Shard Tech potentially to pull y'all out of the anomalous bubble the NIA researchers are trapped in? I don't think we're going to be able to come back until all of the Nemesis barriers have been destroyed. But keep investigating all avenues. It means the world to us. We all just want to come home. I'm getting some more strange readings. Okay. All right. So Kevin Hagan is asking, do we believe we were, no, sorry, do you believe were you I'm sorry, let me just see if I can decipher this question. Okay, do I believe I'm in a pocket dimension or a temporal bubble or something else? That's a really good question. We're actually not sure. It may be that the CERN facility is inaccessible to all of you, or maybe we're in a parallel universe or a parallel version of the facility. It's difficult to say. Like I said earlier, we don't have many answers about that. All we can tell you is that there's no day, no night. It seems like there's time is sort of functioning differently here. Ian Butt is saying, do not trust Lightman. If you have intel to suggest that Lightman is working against us, definitely try to find a way to get that to us. That's incredibly valuable and disturbing. Lee McAndrew, personal way outfield theory, okay? Nemesis may be from a universe where the civilization kill glyph sequence wasn't stopped. This would explain their hatred of the exogenous. That's a fascinating idea. And that would make total sense. I think if we can figure out why they're doing this and what their motivation is, it might help us to stop them. And this could explain why they're willing to go to such lengths to stop them. So that is a very good theory. Mustafa Saeed, do you remember Edgar Allan Wright? Yes. Which, by the way, I would like to wish Dr. Wright happy birthday on Thursday. You know, he did some of the earliest research into RPE. Without him, we wouldn't even have the option of using RPE to get out into other places. By the way, any intel you can gather from him regarding RPE could help us speed up the process over here. Eugene Cornelius is asking, can we expect to get future communication from other researchers in a similar manner? Yes, we hope to do this on a regular basis. I think it will help us all stay sane here, to speak with you all, talk with the outside world. Needless to say, cabin fever is something we're combating. It's helpful to communicate with all of you back home and helps us feel connected to home, and it gives us hope that one day we'll be able to get back there. John Griswold is asking, I picked up the transmission late. Has any attempt to contact the Shapers and or Nazir to aid against Nemesis? Well, you know my opinion on the exogenous, but I guess if things get bad enough, maybe it's an option. I don't know that we're there yet, though. So, looks like I might be okay.
Devra, 10 minutes until the briefing on RPE.
Okay. I only have 10 minutes left, you guys. I'm due for a briefing. Okay, Katie Ishira, Norris Edgar's fighting for you. He's been giving Essex messages from you guys. I'm glad to hear it. Say hello. And stay in contact with him. If he sends any messages this way, please let me know. Gustavo Martins, I am Nemesis. We are watching this transmission. I guess that answers our questions, agents. Ariel Diana, did Niantic researchers actually create Telegram accounts, or were they accounts created by Nemesis to pose as researchers? I'm not sure we'll be able to use our Telegram accounts from where we are now, but as far as I'm concerned, I had a Telegram account. So that was mine. It wasn't Nemesis, unless there's a second account, which I wouldn't know about, so just be careful. And we don't have access to them anyways here. Mustafa Saeed is saying, given Wright's condition as a result of RPE experimentation, is there anything we can do to help jog his memories? It's a great question. Let me think about that. You know, I'm not sure. But we do think that memory loss is a side effect of remote participation experiences. It's important that we catalog all of the potential negative side effects of RPE, so that people choosing to utilize RPE understand what they're getting themselves into. Devra Orf, what should we do when this stream ends? Keep fighting Nemesis. And keep your eyes open for messages from us. We will be trying to get communications out to you. Did you get our warning about the Nemesis threat? We tried to use our limited ability with the scanner to get that information to you. Ayoto Narotaki, where are you going by RPE? Well, no one has gone anywhere yet. That's another thing we're currently trying to determine what the most effective use of it is in order to combat Nemesis directly. We're trying to figure out, where Nemesis is operating, where their vulnerabilities exist. Hopefully they have vulnerabilities, but we believe we have some leads. Now that we know Nemesis is listening, I'm not going to give you that information on here, but look out for some messages. Okay, good. David Indo, Skyfire Swanson, explain RPE to use level 7 players. Basically, it should let us project avatars of ourselves into other worlds. It's temporary simulacra is sort of how it works, and it's very limited. We only have small windows of time that we can do this for, which is why we need your help, because our hands are pretty much tied the rest of the time. The only time we can actually use this tech, from what I understand, is during anomalous periods, so it's incredibly limited. But at least if our simulacra are destroyed, we think we should remain safe here. Again, we don't know exactly what all of the side effects are going to be in projecting ourselves into these avatars, into these simulacra, but we will be mapping that out and logging all of that information. And again, if you can talk to Dr. Wright, it's possible that he might have information for us, so that might be really helpful if you could send over any information. Gerald Wolf is saying, say hello to Carrie and ask her if she has any idea regarding communicational encryption. Would be a shame if any info we send to you were intercepted by Nemesis. I will. And if anyone can come up with encryption to hide our messages from Nemesis, she can.
5 minutes, Devra.
I have 5 minutes, you guys, before I have to go into this meeting. Joachim Piper, pretty sure I said that wrong, apologies, is asking, how can we fight Nemesis if we don't even know what it is? I mean, that's the question, isn't it? I mean, if we get information on Nemesis, we will get messages out to you. We will communicate that to you. But we're also hoping that you can uncover some and send it to us. But the minute we uncover information on Nemesis, we will be sending all intel to you to help you combat Nemesis. Nathan Lee. Devra, do you guys still eat and drink after being reset? Do you still sleep? Yes. I'm actually back in my living, breathing body. So I'm actually alive in my actual body. I'll only be a simulacrum if I use the RPE, and if we're able to get that up and running and we determine that I should use it. We are sleeping. Again, it's strange here. Time is strange here. So it's been a little bit difficult. There's no night and day, so it's difficult to know when to sleep. And yes, we are eating. We seem to have plenty of supplies for the time being. Stephen Curley is asking if we still have access to the prime artifacts that triggered the Osiris sequence and the tech to open a bridge in to other universes. Could we engage the process again to create a bridge to the bubble? We don't need to engage the XM shut. I suppose if you all are able to RPE, it could be of help, but as we know, it can be incredibly dangerous. So again, please don't do that lightly. I don't want any more people getting hurt. Be careful. Kate Ashira, Norris, if the glyphs were not your message in the scanner, what was your message to us? My message was just to let you know that where we were, to alert you that we were going to be attempting to broadcast. Martin Pagard is asking, is there a way for you to equip select few agents with RPE gear in order for us to join you and gain intelligence from you without compromising it with Nemesis? You know what? That's a great idea. Can you ask Dr. Wright about that?
Devra!